Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I'm sharing with you my daily routine when I work from home. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a full-time working mom. I have 2 kids, and in these videos I just like to share with you what my day looks like on a normal work day when I'm working from home. Today my day started a little bit before 6. My normal working hours are from 6:30 to 3, so I do like to get up a little bit before 6 in order to get some coffee made and get ready before I start my work day. I also let the dog out. We have a yellow lab named Murphy, and he likes to go outside and play a little bit in the yard while I'm waiting for my coffee to finish up. On this particular day also, my son Connor was also awake at this time. Sometimes he sleeps in, but on this particular morning he decided to get up a little bit early. He had some important gaming to do on his iPad, and he wanted some pancakes. I had meal prepped these earlier, which you guys maybe have seen that in a meal prep video that I posted earlier this week. I can leave a link to that video down below if you're interested in checking it out, but pancakes are something that is super easy to meal prep and then very easy to heat up. I just pop them in the microwave and it makes a great quick breakfast for my kids during the week. So if you are new to my channel, I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for over 15 years, and my current job is in quality improvement, but during this pandemic, our hospital has been supporting social distancing, and I have been working from home half-time. So on this particular day, it was a work from home day for me. My husband, Adam, is an engineer, and he has actually been getting to work from home full-time. So he has been the one that has been primarily sort of making sure the kids are in line during the day and making sure that they get their schoolwork done. I did want to hop in the shower today before I got ready to work, so I went ahead and did that. And then here's a look at what I had to accomplish on my lunch break. Sometimes when I work from home, I do run some errands on my lunch break. Not always. Most of the time I actually just eat at home and work through my lunch. So now it is 6:30 and I am starting my work day. Today I'm working upstairs in my office. Sometimes I sit down at the dining room table and work with my husband. It just depends on what I have going on and what meetings he has and what meetings I have. I want to just take a quick moment to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's work from home video. If you are not familiar with Skillshare, it's an online learning community, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I've worked with them before, and I continue to work with them because I really love their classes, and I think it is a good quality product for anyone who is looking for more education in a variety of different areas. Skillshare has classes on illustration, graphic design, photography, art, marketing, productivity, but the class that I wanted to mention today is a class on art journaling for your mental health with Nicolola. I took this class a few weeks ago and I loved it. I have really been liking to do art and watercolor and a lot of things more recently to take my mind off of what's going on in the world. And later on in this video, I'll share with you some watercoloring that I'll be doing after work this evening. So stay tuned for that. But if you guys would like to take this art journaling mental health class along with me or any other classes at Skillshare, be sure to check out the link in my description box below. The first 1,000 people to click this link will get 2 months free of the premium membership so that you can also explore your creativity. I would definitely recommend it, and especially if you'd like to take this art journal class, I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. Okay, so it's about 9:30 now and I'm taking a break to get myself some breakfast. Today I am having some Greek yogurt. This was a coconut and vanilla Greek yogurt that I had gotten from Aldi, along with some strawberries and some homemade granola that I made during meal prep over the weekend. This is one of my favorite breakfasts to eat, not only when I'm working from home, but I also like to take this to work and eat it at work. It's a very quick breakfast. I love the contrast between the like the smooth yogurt and the crunchy granola, and it's very filling. It keeps me full until lunch, and I just can't get enough of the combination lately. So I finished my breakfast, and then later on in the morning, Connor had a call with his class. They are doing a book club. His teacher set that up, which I thought was really awesome. And so he's been having those calls about twice a week. They're reading through a book together, and there's a small group in his class that's discussing the book. So he's been enjoying getting to connect with his teacher and his other friends. So now it is lunchtime, and Connor and I went to run some errands. Basically, I just had to drop a package off to be mailed, pick up some medicine at Walgreens, and we grabbed some lunch as well. What do you mean it's dirty? Just on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's probably dirt on the floor, and like in the winter they put sand on the roads, and so when you get in the car there's sand on your shoes, and maybe we'll do that this weekend. Get the hose out and wash it.
But if you wash the car, you'll get electrocuted because it's electronic.
No, you do it with the car off.
You can give the car wash its own car wash. I mean, you can give the car its own car wash. It looks like somebody crashed that right there. Accidentally hit right there on the corner.
Yeah, they probably hit the building.
Yeah. Maybe their truck. They probably had a truck because, and then their little like the mirrors on the side right there in the front of your car.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they were in a truck because trucks are higher than cars. What's race car spelled backwards?
Race car. Hello. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. My coworker is sleeping on the job. All right, so it is about 3:30 and I'm done working for the day, so I'm gonna work on trying to get a YouTube video edited and uploaded tonight. You can see that my coworker over there fell asleep earlier in the day, but we did stop and get some lunch when I ran my errands on my lunch break. So we stopped and got a Redbox DVD that I had reserved for Connor because he wanted to watch Spider-Man Far From Home, and so I reserved it in advance on Redbox. You can do that in the app. And then we picked it up, dropped off packages, picked up her prescription, got lunch, came home, and I finished work. So I'm gonna make homemade pizza for dinner tonight. I have the dough already made and it's in the fridge in the garage, so hopefully that should come together fairly quickly for dinner later. All right, so for dinner tonight, I'm gonna make some homemade pizza, and this is the dough that I made this weekend, and it's been sitting here on the counter for about an hour. Basically, you make it the day before, and then you let it do like the first rise in the refrigerator, and then you divide it into two and let it set on the counter for an hour, and that kind of lets it rest. This is the cookbook that it's out of. It's called Bread Illustrated by America's Test Kitchen. I would totally recommend this cookbook, or any of their cookbooks actually, because they're all fantastic. And this is another one I've been cooking out of lately, the Complete Vegetarian Cookbook. So I'll link both of these down below if you're interested. But this is a recipe for thin crust pizza, and it makes two basically 13-inch pizzas. So that's the dough. And then I also had some ravioli in the refrigerator that I needed to cook. It was like fresh ravioli. So I just went ahead and boiled that up and put it with a little bit of the extra sauce that I got out for the pizza, and Kira will like that. She's a big fan of ravioli. And then I have some turkey pepperoni. This is from Aldi. We haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to use that. I took a package of Johnsonville. This is just like the crumbled Italian sausage, and cooked it up in a pan, sauteed it. We won't use all of this for the pizza, so I'll probably have extra to put back for something else. And then this is homemade like marinara tomato basil sauce that I made and froze. I don't know if I'll be able to find the video that I made it in, but if I can find the recipe online, I'll link it down below. Basically, I get the huge cans of like the San Marzano tomatoes from Costco and make a big batch and freeze it, and then I always have marinara in the freezer and it thaws out pretty well. So all I have to do now is grate the cheese, and then I'm gonna get some mushrooms out of the pantry, because I think I'm gonna make half of one of the pizza's sausage mushroom for Adam. So whenever I make homemade pizza, I always like to grate my own mozzarella cheese. I just think it tastes so much fresher and it melts a lot better. So I went ahead and did that. And I think the key to making pizza dough is being able to like roll it and stretch it effectively without tearing it. I have made homemade pizza a number of times, but I still haven't practiced quite enough yet to be super proficient at it, but that's okay. I'm going to keep persevering and keep making more homemade pizza until I become an expert. So I went ahead and did one pizza in a circle. I only have one circular sort of pizza pan, and then the other one I just did on a sheet tray. So I have one that I'm going to put sausage on along with the cheese, and then I'm just putting some sliced mushrooms on half of it. That is for Adam. He's really the only one that likes mushrooms on his pizza, so that will be for him. And then on the other pizza, I'm just going to do half cheese and half pepperoni. My daughter Kira really likes pepperoni pizza, and then I like cheese, and Connor likes cheese too. Okay, so this recipe says to set the oven at 500, so that's what I've done. And I've got two pizzas. This one is half cheese, half pepperoni, and then this one is half sausage and mushroom. So let's see how this goes. All right, so I'm actually impressed with this crust. It doesn't seem very thin to me, but it did brown up really nice on the underside, which is good. And I put it under the broiler for just a couple minutes at the end, just to make sure the cheese on top was brown. So yummy. Can I get your honest reaction?
Can you sit up, please?
On a comment I got yesterday.
On YouTube video?
Yeah.
What's
That I need more me time.
I think the only person that gets more me time in this house than mommy is Kira.
I get a lot of me time.
Yeah. She got nothing but me time. Kira laughing. That's worth it. That's like saying Connor really needs some iPad gaming time.
I know, right? So along with the pizza, I cut up some raw vegetables, and then I also had some caprese salad left over from the weekend that we ate also. So after we were done eating, I just went ahead and packed up all the leftovers. I have been liking to keep raw veggies in the fridge along with some fruit salad, and that's been helping us eat more fruits and vegetables. So we did have a little bit of the pizza left over that I had to pack up. I do have a tip on leftover pizza. If you guys have an air fryer, leftover pizza is actually really good heated up in the air fryer, even better than the microwave. I usually just heat it on I don't know, about $3.50 for about 5 minutes. After that, I cleaned up the kitchen and got the dishwasher loaded and started for the night. All right, Connor is going to watch his Spider-Man movie. I'm watching Zachary Michael's latest video, which I did not catch the live earlier, but I'm watching it now. And I got this order from Simon Says Stamp. I ordered this stamp set, and so right now I'm just cutting apart the dies. These are clear stamps, and then these are the dies that go with it. So I'll show you how I end up storing that. Okay, so here are the stamp pockets I use for the 6x8 stamps, and I can link all these supplies down below if you happen to be interested in this kind of stuff. But on the back, then I just buy like sheets of magnet from Amazon, and then the dies go on there if they match with the stamp. So there are some different options here, but that's what I do if I have a stamp and die that matches together. That way I can keep them all together in one pocket. Okay, so while the kids were watching their movie, I wanted to take a second to swatch a new pan of watercolors that I recently ordered from Altenew. I'm just kind of showing you here how I like to swatch my watercolors. These are 2 smaller sets that I have, but I think it's important to definitely swatch those when you first get a new set, because you really have a hard time telling what the color is from the pan. And so what I'm doing is just taking a sheet of watercolor paper. I'll link all these products down below, by the way, if you're interested in any of them. But what I like to do is just cut a piece of watercolor paper to fit the lid of whatever pan that I'm swatching, so that it will fit in there. And then anytime I want to use the set, I'll have a reference as to what the colors look like. I also do this with other craft products like inks, texture paste, liquid watercolors, anything like that, because a lot of times, like I said, you can't really tell what the paint is going to look like on the paper until you see it. So this is a metallic watercolor set from Altenew, which is really cool. I don't know that there's anything else really like this on the market. And I first saw these on Christina Werner's YouTube channel. If you guys are into paper crafts and you're not following her, I would recommend it. She makes beautiful cards and does really great watercolor. I'll leave her channel linked down below. So basically I just paint a little bit of each watercolor on the cardstock, just like it's laid out in the watercolor set. That way I have a reference as to what each color looks like. So I wasn't planning on making anything with these watercolors, but I had a little bit of extra time before I had to go to bed. And so I decided to paint this stamp from Altenew. This is a 6x6 stamp set, and it's got kind of a neat like geometric pattern on it. Stamps like this are great for watercoloring, especially if you're not very experienced or an expert at watercoloring like me. Stuff like this is easy because it's basically just like coloring, and you just kind of have to fill in the spaces with the watercolor. So I went ahead and used my MISTI to stamp this, and I'm stamping it several times just to make sure that I get a good impression. And eventually I'll probably turn this into a greeting card. I didn't end up having any time to make it on this particular night, but that's probably what I'll end up doing, is cutting it down and using it on a card front. So I did use my heat gun just to make sure that the ink was dry. I am using an Archival black ink, or a waterproof black ink. That's really important when you're watercoloring, because if you use a water soluble black ink, when you put that wet paint onto it, the black ink will just run all over and you'll have kind of a muddy mess. So basically what I tried to do was just fill in all of the colors and not have any of the same color touching. But it's really hard to see this on the video, but in real life, this metallic watercolor is really, really pretty. If you're into watercolor and you don't have anything like this, I would totally recommend this set. I also have to give you some context on the comments earlier that we were talking about me time. That was a joke that we had on Mother's Day. Actually, I was joking that I needed some me time, and I definitely have no shortage of me time, so you guys don't need to be worried about that. But anyway, this is how the painted panel looked when I finished it. You can see the shimmery watercolor. It's super pretty. All right, so it is now 10 o'clock and we're all getting ready to go to bed. Well, actually, Kira's been cleaning her room tonight, or all day actually, and so I need to go in there and kind of help her wrap that up and supervise and see if she needs any help. But I wanted to update you guys on the pizza crust. That was a really good recipe. I would definitely make it again. I think I need to make it a few times to like perfect the technique, but overall I thought it was really good. It wasn't necessarily super thin crust, but I did really like the texture of the pizza crust. So yeah, I would definitely make again. But thank you guys so much for coming along with me on this work from home day. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.